Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Just wanted to make a video, give you kind of a brief update on Isaac and how he's doing, his situation now, and then also just kind of what the next steps look like, what the coming weeks are going to look like, and what our plans are. Boy, has it been a whirlwind. So we took Isaac to his 2 appointments on Tuesday. He had one with infectious disease and another with ortho. And there at the appointment with infectious disease, they're checking him again, as far as with all this, the infection, all the stuff that's been going on in his wrist. And so naturally they had to do some blood work and continue to check all that, the different things there that they can see. And they said everything's looking pretty well. It was a rough experience, however, because, it's just been honestly just kind of a traumatic thing for him. All this stuff, from coming back from Peru, flying back from another country, straight to the hospital, first time him being in the hospital like that, as far as, and having a procedure done, surgery, IVs, blood, everything. Just all this stuff. It's just constantly people in and out, doing things, check. And it just scarred him. It just had him tore up every moment. And so going to infectious disease, they had to draw blood, and so naturally that was a fun experience because of that previous traumatic experience. And so they had people come in from child life specialists, I think is what it's called, and they bring people in that are trained and work really well with kids and get them distracted and show them different things, tactics they can use to get their mind off of what they're doing, drawing blood. And so they got somebody in there and was doing that. And can I just take a side note? Where was all this stuff when I was a kid? Okay, I've always heard adults say that. Older adults say that. It's like, well, hey, why didn't they have that when I was a kid? Well, now I'm saying it, and I'm only 32. But where was all this stuff, to get your mind off of blood being drawn when I was a kid? Okay, so they brought in stuff for Isaac, and they had this little bumblebee. Different animals, different insects or whatever, but they had a little bumblebee. You click the switch and it goes on your arm and just buzzes right above the spot where you're okay, right above where they're about to draw the blood. So it kind of tingles your arm and gets your mind off of it. They also have freeze spray. There's like this stuff that you can spray on your arm. They spray on it, and it freezes for just a minute. It's just freezing cold, and so it actually, you're thinking of the cold temperature, and mind's not on it. They have numbing cream. They got all this stuff. I'm like, where was this when I was a kid? Okay, I had like 9 nurses holding me down to jab a needle on my arm because I was kicking and screaming so bad. If just give me a bumblebee, I'd have been good. But whatever, rant over. So anyway, we went through that, okay, and so we told him, look, let's get your blood drawn here at infectious disease. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of, and then look, we won't have to worry about it. It'll be done. The worst part will be done. The only other appointment is ortho. They're just looking at your cast, looking at you. They may cut it off and look at your incision and stuff, make sure everything, and kind of go from there. It's not going to be a bad experience. So anyway, then we go over to his other appointment over at ortho, and I'll put a little clip of that in here. We're here at the doctor's office. One of Isaac's checkups, and here, show him. They just took off his splint, and so there's the incision there where he went in, had surgery. He's got a lot of dry skin, everything there. But anyway, so the doctors are looking at, they just did an x-ray with the splint on. And so the guy that just came in, he's going to go back out and talk with the doctor, and then see if they maybe want to do another x-ray with the cast or that splint, cast, whatever, off. So great news. After that appointment, with ortho, or during, shall I say, that appointment with ortho, they came back with the wonderful news: you need to go to the ER, right now. So they tell us that the x-ray shows that his bone, okay, so let me go back a little bit. The infection that he had in his wrist, it ate away a lot of the bone, support bone or whatever. I don't know all this stuff. Anyway, ate a lot of the bone that kind of supports the wrist. And then as they went in and cleaned out the infection, they had to scrape away some of the bone fragments as well. And so they said a good chunk of that bone missing. And so they said, due to that, his wrist is kind of slumped down or kind of slid down off, where it needs to be on his wrist. So they said, you need to go to the ER now. and they will do a procedure. They said they will put him to sleep. Just basically, they said it's not going to be another surgery. They said they will basically just go in and push it, kind of push the wrist or whatever, and kind of get it back in place, back in alignment with the rest of the arm, and then they will put a hard cast on it. So the lady there tells us, no biggie. When they put him to sleep, they're going to use laughing gas. Well, the laugh was on us because that is not what they did. So then we go to the ER and have that whole ordeal. And I'll put a clip of that in here now. Ended up ortho telling us that through looking at his arm, x-rays, that he needed to come back over to the emergency room and have his wrist kind of reset in place with the bone and stuff. It's hard to really explain all that anyway. So we've been back over here at the emergency room, back literally exactly in the same room we started in when we flew back from Peru. And so we've been back in here. They did a can't remember what they did. Did they do an x-ray already, I guess? Anyway, and they put him to sleep, and then reset the bone, put a hard shell cast on now to hold it in place. He's in the process of kind of waking back up now, and then they're going to do like a one more x-ray now with the hard cast on to make sure everything's still sitting exactly in place as they wanted it, and we should be able to go home. We hope. It's already getting kind of late this evening, but we'll see kind of what that looks like. So just went for regular doctor's visits and ended up back in the ER where it all started. I'm gonna write my name in the walls in this room. So that was kind of what we experienced there with Isaac this past week. It, again, as I said, has been just a whirlwind. It's just been just here, there, back to here, back. It's just been kind of all over the place. And so as it stands now, he has had that other procedure. They did put him to sleep. Of course, it wasn't like they said. They did not do laughing gas. All of a sudden, here comes, the team to put an IV in and then put him to sleep through anesthesia. And that was another fun ordeal. I mean, I'm telling you, we would just, held on for dear life. I mean, it was a fight to the bitter end to get that done. But anyway, thankfully we got that done. And so they did the procedure, got it back in alignment. They were happy. Once they put the hard cast on it, they did another x-ray with the cast on. They said they were pleased with the result of it, where it's sitting, that it should. They're hoping, of course, we're praying, but it will heal up in the right place, just as it needs to. And so they told us now that it will be 3 weeks that he has to wear the hard cast, and it is something that goes all the way up around his elbow, and it's up to here. And so he has to wear that for 3 weeks, and then we will go back in. At the end of that 3 weeks, they're going to re-x-ray it again and see how the bone has been growing, how it's if it's healing properly, if everything's still looking right, and they will kind of let us know from there. Tell us kind of what we're looking like from there. And so as far as what that looks like for us, again, as I said kind of in another video early on, we plan to, I'm sure any parent would, we plan to stay until he is fully cleared and better, cleared by the doctors, to go back. We're not just trying to rush back, whatever, to get things, even though our heart's there. We know our ministry, the ministry God's called us to, but family is our first priority, naturally. And so we want to make sure he is completely healed and cleared by the doctors to go back. And so we are here at least for those other, for the next 3 weeks or so. And then once that's the next x-ray is done, and that'll give us, tell us, what we're looking like, if things are healing properly. If not, what the further next steps are to get that to continue to heal properly the way it should, and all that. And so that's where we're at right now. Don't have a definitive date to say that we are going back just yet, and I am certainly doing my part to just pray, consistently pray, and just seek the Lord's will, what He would have us to do, how we need to go about this, because I know everybody may have opinions on different things, and of course everybody have different ideas of what could be or should do, shouldn't do, but ultimately just as anybody needs to, I just want to find what God wants us to do. That's really all that matters, is whatever the Lord leads me to do. And so I'm just praying what God would have us to do, how we need to go about the next steps and different things. And so basically we are waiting for those 3 weeks, and we will further assess from there what we need to do. Of course, praying along the way and getting guidance from God on that. But we do appreciate your prayers. We have just been just overwhelmed by the number of people that have reached out to us and just have told us they're praying for us. And so hopefully you're continue to watch these videos and just be on this journey with us. Look, show them your cast.
I wrote my name in.
Yeah, he wrote his name on it. He didn't want anybody else to claim it. He wanted people to know it was his. So naturally, we got to write our name on it. And so anyway, it goes all the way up to right here. But you can't see it through all that stuff. But anyway, but yeah, we will continue to update you and share what we're doing and things here. But we just sure appreciate all the thoughts and prayers. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And, keep up with us. And of course, once we get ready to move back and we kind of get it nailed down when we're going back and things settled of officially moving forward, heading back to Peru, I will certainly be letting everybody know that. And you can follow us right on back there and continue on ministry and stuff. We have a lot of things that God's been working in our heart about down there, and I won't go into it now, but we're just some things we're excited about and excited to see what all God's going to do. We know that the Lord is going to do something big. We believe it with all of our heart. I mean, the devil's been fighting so hard in different areas, different situations and things, and we know that the Lord is getting ready to do something big, and we're so thankful and excited for that. Excited to see what all He has in store. But thank you for watching the video.